Thursday morning, you know what that means. And he's on the microphone with Brian and Gene. The morning sickness show is where I want to be. Strumming my guitar, soft and gently. Where bacon rules all, and Bloody Marys are tall. And Pearl Street beers, chase them all. I'm here to sing to you, tell you have a great day. And don't forget to come rock out with Tug Sunday.
Actually, it's Rock Out with Tug on Saturday.
Saturday?
Trempolo Reggae Fest.
Ah.
And then I know they're going to be a part of Moon Tunes at Riverside Park. But yeah, Trempolo Hotel, Restaurant and Saloon in Trempolo, Wisconsin.
Mm-hmm.
This Saturday, the 7th, Reggae Fest 2025, featuring our good friends in Tug. And that, of course, was Andy Hughes, the front man for Tug.
Went there 1 year and enjoyed some live music in the sunshine and had some sort of delicious, fruity tropical rum punch thing that they had that was on special that day. That went along with the reggae kind of vibe.
Yeah, outdoor,
nice. It was very relaxing and chill.
DJ Trichrome, Tug, John Wayne and the Pain, and Natty Nation all playing at Reggae Fest.
Saturday?
This Saturday in Trempolo at the hotel. It's Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. Office Cora making her triumphant return, I believe, today after a couple weeks off. Hypothetical Thursday, asking each other hypothetical questions, trying to get through the show without Gene dying over there.
I'm getting better.
Did you netty?
No, dude, no. I told you. I came home from here yesterday. It was we had an office kind of a clean out thing.
Yeah.
And I was into it.
Typical Gene dives in head first.
I was into
down
it.
there in her cleaning up the yard outfit. I'm just like, I want no part of that. I'm like, this is the Gene I hate.
Yeah, gloves and everything. And I I wanted it organized. You know what I mean?
I saw you. I was down there.
I think I overexerted for the amount of energy with this virus that I have. And so when I left here yesterday at 4, I went home. I drank a giant Pedialyte. I took a hot shower. And then I elevated my foot, and I kind of just laid there for the rest of the night watching Sirens, and that was it.
All right.
That was about it. So, no, I didn't even netty.
No netty. Not feeling any better. 3 weeks.
Same thing.
All right.
It's just there.
The Thursday song is in the books. Hypothetical Thursday questions for each other a bit later on. Lots of other stuff to get to, including
real nice, too, right?
Office Core, and it looks like about 80 today with a mix of sun and clouds, and then mostly cloudy tomorrow with a high of 75. We're looking at some showers, though, on Saturday and Sunday.
But I think the air quality stuff is over. I don't think that there's any more warnings or situations that you need to be aware of.
Rockmornings.com if you need something. We got Volbeat on the way.
Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene on your rock station.
Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. A couple of arrests in that shooting in Rolling Stone from about a week and a half ago. The drive-by.
Yes.
Authorities making another arrest in the drive-by shooting of 3 homes last month in Rolling Stone in Winona County. Kamari Jatavion Jordan, 21 years old, facing a felony charge for the shooting on May 24th. Probable cause statement said that Jordan was in a vehicle that was identified as being at the scene of the shootings, in which no one was hurt. A juvenile witness identifying Jordan and Damian Lamont Smith Jr. as the 2 people who fired a handgun towards the 3 homes. When police searched Smith's home, they found the handgun and ammo similar to what investigators recovered at the scene of the shootings. Following his arrest, Jordan told investigators that Smith was the only one who fired the handgun that night. At a court appearance on Wednesday yesterday, Jordan received a bond of $40,000 with conditions or $100,000 without conditions. He's back in court on June 18th, but a couple of arrests being made in that drive-by shooting. Nobody hurt, thankfully, but a couple of homes were struck in the Rolling Stone area.
Mm-hmm.
City of Toma advising residents about the nitrate levels in one of their water wells while telling residents that the water is safe to drink. The well in question tested for high nitrate levels on more than one occasion in the last couple of weeks. April, we had well 14 nitrate concentration sample tested above 9.0 milligrams per liter, and the threshold is 10 milligrams per liter, said Nick Morales, the chair of the Toma Senior Executive Team. The well was tested another couple of times, once testing for 14.0 milligrams per liter, well over the threshold. In working with the DNR, they wanted to take additional time. The results of the samples are so different. And the Toma had the water well shut down in May as a proactive approach to the situation. DNR telling the city that the nitrate levels from the well are too damn high. Morales said the city's approach could have prevented a worse outcome. But, yeah, they're obviously telling Toma residents to be careful, maybe similar to what they deal with the PFAS stuff, maybe move to bottled water for now as they deal with that. Beef jerky. Got any beef jerky? You do beef jerky? You a beef jerky guy?
We do the sticks more than the jerky.
Beef sticks?
Yeah.
Okay. Not the bags or anything like that?
Yeah, not usually.
More than 15,000 pounds of ready-to-eat beef jerky and snack sticks are being recalled due to misbranding and undeclared allergens. According to the U.S. Department of Agriculture's Food Safety and Inspection Service, the recalled products made by Springville Meat and Cold Storage Company containing fish, including anchovies, a known allergen which is not declared on the product label. The problem was discovered during production observations by FSIS inspectors, revealing that the Worcestershire sauce used in jerky and snack sticks products contained anchovies. Yeah. Recall does not includes not only beef, but also venison, buffalo, and elk jerky as well. Obviously, if you want to find out more, you can Google beef jerky recall. But, a bunch of that being recalled because of some mislabeling, anchovies in there. And President Donald Trump issuing a full travel ban, blocking the entry of foreign nationals from 12 countries into the United States.
Does this take place immediately, by the way? Is that
June 9th, so that's Sunday, I believe, right? Trump citing national security risks posed by citizens of the targeted nations, include several Middle Eastern and African countries. The restrictions are scheduled to go into effect on June 9th. The ban prohibiting entry into the U.S. of foreign nationals from Afghanistan, Burma, Chad, the Republic of Congo, Equatorial Guinea, Haiti, Iran, Libya, Somalia, Sudan, and Yemen. Trump issuing partial travel suspensions for other foreign nations, including Cuba, Laos, Togo, and Venezuela. So, some travel bans going into effect over the weekend.
On Monday.
Is that Monday?
Monday.
The 9th? Okay. Mm-hmm. Monday the 9th. All right. Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. We got sports coming up in a bit. What are you doing anything different, or are you just doing the same things that you've been doing for the last couple of weeks? Because I don't feel like you're ramping things up. We're trying new things.
The last 2 nights I took NyQuil, and I haven't done that since the first week because I kind of took a break from it because it's like this. You know what I told you? It's like I'm feel better, and then I don't.
I mean, you're doing all the things that I do. You're napping.
No, I'm not anymore.
Being lazy,
but yeah, I was doing that, but I'm not anymore. No, I mean Advil, Dayquil, NyQuil, Mucinex. I rotate them.
You think you're doing too much? Are you over medicating?
No, I don't think so. I didn't take Dayquil at all today, and I haven't. I didn't take anything over the weekend except Mucinex because I had all those parties and stuff to get to.
What about a solid night of drinking? You do one of those yet? like a heavy hitter, like a wake up and feel it, but maybe it knocks it out of your system?
I don't know. I can't feel. I don't want to feel any worse than I feel right now. So no, I'm good. I don't know. I'm trying. Sleep, fluids, all the stuff. I think it's just like that.
Are there plans to Nettie?
I don't know. Maybe this weekend. We'll see.
Mike texting in said it sounds like long COVID, but you tested and you're
yeah,
negative.
But you know what? I realized the other night that I tested, and this sounds so ungrown up of me, but I think the test was expired.
Oh.
Because I found there was 2 boxes in our closet of them, and I took one and I did one test one night and one test another, which was like 3 days apart from each other. And then I looked at the other box that was next to it, and it expired in like 23. So I think I don't know if that matters or not, but I think both boxes were way expired is what I think is the deal. So I don't know. Maybe, sure.
Gene's got an expired box.
I do. Way expired.
All right. Well, thanks for the text, Mike. Appreciate it. RockMornings.com if you want to find all our contact info. It's Volbeat.
Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. Find them online at rockmornings.com.
P. Roach getting away with murder on Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. Mike said, sounds like long COVID.
I wondered about that.
Roxy from the 715 said, hey, Gene, hope you're feeling better soon. I had that crud for 6 weeks.
Ugh.
Tom says, good morning, Brian and Gene. Will you play Bring the Noise by Anthrax? Have a great day.
That's what I heard. I heard from people, even like I said, my coworker, or my husband's coworker who's in Denver, so halfway across the country. They 4 or 5 weeks with this thing. It's like that's what it is.
Well, I'm glad you've been bringing it in the studio, and now that I'm
not contagious.
Now that I'm immunocompromised, I would appreciate if you would keep your. I got to be honest. I've never been more nervous in my life.
Shut up.
I've never been more nervous in my life.
We have to talk about this later. We've got. Okay. We can't combine this in sports. Get out of here.
Legit was so nervous last night. So nervous.
Oh my gosh.
More on that a bit later on. Brewers over the Reds yesterday, 9-1.
Woo! That's a win.
Isaac Collins belting a 3-run jack. Jackson Churio, Daz Cameron each hit 2-run shots, and the Brew Crew won their 12th consecutive series against the Reds with a 9-1 win.
And the pitch. Ground ball to first. Couple of hops out to Hoskins. He runs to the bag. He beats Benson there. And this ball game is in the books. The Brewers dominate the Reds here this afternoon by a final score of 9-1. They have won this series, and they have won 12 straight series over the Reds.
Yeah, Brew Crew dominating. They're off today, and then they'll be in San Diego tomorrow night at 7:10 for the first of 3 against the Padres. That's also the start of a 10-game homestand. They'll be at home tomorrow, against the Padres. Start of a 10-game homestand for the Brew Crew. NHL last night.
Kicks it back to Bouchard. Back to Nugent Hopkins. McDavid. It's gone.
Yeah.
Leon Draisaitl.
Might not be anything more thrilling than overtime hockey in the playoffs, in the Stanley Cup final with like 30 seconds left. Leon Draisaitl giving the Oilers the win at home over the Panthers, 4-3. Game 2 tomorrow night at 7 o'clock on TNT. Florida, of course, at Edmonton for that one. NBA Finals begin tonight at 7:30 on ABC. That'll be Indiana at Kansas OKC. Elsewhere in the NBA, the Phoenix Suns hiring Cavaliers assistant coach Jordan Ott as their next head coach. Ott has been an NBA assistant since 2012, but has never been a head coach in the NBA, so this will be his first head coaching experience. And in the NHL, Mike Sullivan, Pittsburgh Penguins, parting ways after a decade behind the bench, behind the glass, and now they're thinking outside the box for their next hire. The Penguins naming Rangers assistant Dan Muse as their next head coach. Muse is 42 years old. He comes to Pittsburgh with absolutely no head coaching experience, though he has been an NHL assistant for nearly a decade.
Interesting.
So, yeah, a couple of coaches making their debuts, one in the NBA, one in the NHL, neither of them with any head coaching experience.
So were you watching that hockey game last night?
No, that was on, it was a night at our house. It was a lot going on. So and by the time we got done with everything and sat down, it was a decision between go to bed right now or watch an episode of something and then go to bed.
Yeah.
So we were just sort of like,
got it.
No. Those games, they start so late. I mean, it started at 7, and that's just a bad time to start watching hockey and then get engrossed in it. You know what I mean? A overtime game. Next thing you know, it's 11 o'clock, and you're like, come on, man. Somebody score. Sports on Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. We've got some Memphis Mayfire in just a bit.
Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene on your rock station.
Now, I've never assembled a hot air balloon, and from what I observed, neither had any employee. I assumed eventually there'd be a safety briefing. There'd have to be a safety briefing. There was never a safety briefing. And like the sheep we are, we just started walking towards the balloon. But nothing about a hot air balloon ride is logical. The balloon the size of a building, an enormous Easter basket, and a blowtorch. We eventually reached the basket of our balloon. By the way, it was a physical basket made of wicker. Wicker! You know that stuff that can barely carry your laundry? It was supposed to cart my fat ass through the sky. We eventually landed in an empty soccer field. We sat there for like 10 minutes. And then this guy in this tiny car drove up, beeped his horn. We got in, he drove away. Then I was like, I don't even know if he's with the balloon company. There was a solid minute when I was like, I just volunteered to be kidnapped.
The hilarious Jim Gaffigan talking about hot air balloons because today is National Hot Air Balloon Day.
That is on my bucket list. I've always wanted to try that, do that sunrise kind of thing.
I'm going to make sure if I'm going to get in a hot air balloon, I'm going to be nowhere near power lines because every time.
Yeah, no, of course. But when we went out west once, I saw them like coming over kind of a mountain. I mean, obviously, I've seen it a ton of times. Oh my gosh. And it was like, it looked so peaceful. And yeah, that's on my list.
Hot Air Balloon Day, National Gingerbread Day, which...
Why is that now? Why is that not in December?
No idea. National Moonshine Day.
I tried some when I was down in Nashville.
Yeah, we went to the brewery that's also the old, what is it, the old Smoky Distillery and their Yeehaw Brewing. They're like together. And
no, thank you.
I've never been into moonshine. National Veggie Burger Day and Sausage Roll Day.
Okay.
So there you go. Some holidays to celebrate. Television tonight, of course, Game 1 of the NBA Finals on ABC.
Yeah, that's a biggie, huh? Was that 7?
7:30. The Oklahoma City Thunder hosting the Indiana Pacers. Third season premiere of Ginny and Georgia on Netflix, and the third season finale of Leverage Redemption over on Amazon. Sydney Sweeney and Nick Kroll going to be on with Jimmy Fallon tonight. Seth MacFarlane and Draymond Green going to be on with Jimmy Kimmel. Cynthia Erivo on with Stephen Colbert. They just dropped the new trailer, right?
For what?
The second Wicked.
Oh, did they really? Yeah. I guess I didn't even see it.
Dakota Johnson and Questlove going to be on with Seth Meyers.
Huh.
That's what's on the boob tube tonight. Remember the movie Tommy Boy?
It's on my list of the top 10 favorite movies of all time for me.
Well, then you may want to make plans for August 7th through the 9th.
Of course, I could get a hell of a good look at a T-bone steak by sticking my head up a bull's ass, but I'd rather take the butcher's word for it.
Bull's ass.
1995 cinematic classic Tommy Boy, of course, turning 30 this year, and it's getting its very own celebration in Sandusky, Ohio, where the movie was set. Tommy Boy Fest, August 7th through the 9th. Chris Farley obviously will not be there. Mm-hmm. David Spade hasn't been booked, but there is rumors that he may show up and be a part of this thing. No stars from the movie, unfortunately, are scheduled to be there, which seems like the first thing you'd want to do after you get it scheduled is make sure you got some people from the effing movie to show up. Apparently, the Peter Siegel, the director of the film, is going to be there, along with the car from the movie that they drive around in.
So
Real
funny.
ads. Activities will include movie screenings, live music, a classic car show, look-alike contests, and a Tommy Want Wingy throwdown.
Oh, son of a... That's going to leave a mark.
Tommy Boy Fest, August 7th through the 9th in Sandusky, Ohio. If you want to go, find out more online.
Richard? Is this your coat?
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
That guy in a little coat.
Don't do it.
That guy in a little coat.
Don't.
That guy in a little coat. That guy in a little coat.
Brothers don't shake hands. Brothers hug. Brothers got a hug.
Tommy Boy Fest, August 7th through the 9th in Sandusky,
Oh, I love that movie.
Ohio.
It's one of my favorites.
You could drive there and come back. It's a weekend, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
it
it's
is.
a Thursday through Saturday. You could leave. You could take Thursday off, drive there, get back by Sunday afternoon.
Already have student orientation at the UW-Madison and a wedding to go
whatever.
to.
She's a grown-up.
and
Christmas.
a wedding to go to, too.
People getting married in August. Idiots. Who the hell gets married in August? It's hot as F out
Friday
there.
night, though, so.
It's Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. And as I mentioned a little while ago, had a very nerve-wracking experience last night.
You legitimately sounded like you were freaked out.
I am. I was. I mean, I'm still...
You're fine now.
We'll
you look
see.
fine now. What do you mean, we'll see? You're fine. So, okay.
Look, I have had psoriasis for
Your
very long...
whole life?
Not my whole life, but for a very long time. Probably somewhere in my late teens, early 20s. So more than half of my life I've had psoriasis. And it's been for the last, 20 years, it's pretty much been where it's at. For people who suffer from psoriasis, it can kind of migrate. I never used to have it on my torso or my body. It was like on my hands and on my head. And then I started to get it everywhere. I was getting it, on my stomach. I was getting it on my back. I'm getting it on my legs, on my feet, on my knees and my elbows, which is where a lot of people get psoriasis. And I just sort of dealt with it, right? I just kind of didn't, you lotion up. You go to the doctor.
You've been on many different kinds of prescriptions and things like that.
They give you some topicals. Before we got married, I got a steroid injection to try to, I had a spot on my face, and I was like, I got to take a lot of pictures, and I don't want this thing to be And so I've done a lot of, the baths, all the different oatmeal baths and all the crap and the light therapy. Well, a couple of years ago, I had gone to the dermatologist for the first time in a long time, and I said, "Is there anything new? I mean, I see all these commercials for these drugs. Is there anything else going on?" And the dermatologist said, "Well, we have, they used to blast you with the light. It was just all of the prisms of the light. It was all the prisms and all the different bands of light or whatever in the prism." And they said they had found out, apparently, this is just my layman's knowledge of what he said. They had basically narrowed it down so that the band of light that actually affected the psoriasis, they had narrowed it down to that. So now when you go in for the light treatments, it's
a lot more effective in a shorter amount of time.
Impactful, right. And so I said, okay, well, rather than take some drugs or
I'll try it.
I'll do the lights, right? And it starts out, you go into a stand-up tanning booth, essentially, and you're butt-ass naked, and you start out at 46 seconds, and then they add 4 to 5 or 6 seconds every time you go, and you're twice a week. And I did that starting in the beginning of January, and for about 2 months, it was okay. I saw minimal gains.
Some improvement.
The improvement that I noticed was more about the quality of the skin. It wasn't so much the redness or the size of the patches of psoriasis that I have. It was more, again, people who suffer from psoriasis, they're in tune with, just like anybody else, they're in tune with their bodies and they know a little bit more. So, the quality of the skin where the psoriasis was had changed. It had gotten a little better. It wasn't as scaly or flaky or
dry.
Right. So, but then I did it for another month and a half, and it just sort of, nothing ever changed. So it kind of plateaued. So I go back for a checkup with the doctor in early May, and the dermatologist and I are talking and talking about the different types of options. There's pills and there's injections and stuff. And so, we discussed it and decided to go Skyrizi. Now, apparently Skyrizi, out of all of the options, is the most effective.
This is the one you see on in ads and hear stuff about it.
There's several. And Skyrizi can be used for a lot of different things.
Ah, okay.
So psoriasis is just one of them.
Okay.
And I got to say, first and foremost, this whole process of figuring this crap out is, I almost didn't do it because I was just like, I can't explain to you in the amount of time that we have available to us how frustrating and infuriating this whole AbbVie and Skyrizi crap is. Because I'm old, right? I'm almost 50. You go to the doctor gives you a prescription, you go to the pharmacy, you pick it up, you take the pills, end of story. If you need a shot, you go to the doctor gives you the shot, end of story. Not with this effing crap.
No, not with treating things.
No. So it gets mailed to you from a specialty pharmacy, right? Mm-hmm. So I go in, he prescribes it. They have to do blood tests to make sure my liver and my all this other stuff is, and I don't have TB and all that stuff. So I go through all that. Then I'm waiting to hear whether or not my insurance is going to cover it, right? So it's a couple weeks before I even get the prescription, before I even get the lab results back. I'm getting calls from these companies that are your copay could be as little as $0 and all this crap, and you got to sign up for this. And I'm like, bro, I'm out with my wife on my birthday. I just went to this appointment 2 days ago. I don't even know if I'm getting the drug. I have no idea what's going on. And this guy's trying to sign me up for this. And I'm like, I don't even know who you are. I don't know what you do. I don't know what this is all about. So it's infuriating. And it just continued like that for weeks. And then finally I called the doctor back and I said, hey, look, I'm like, am I approved? Am I getting this thing?
Stuff happening?
And they said yes. And so you got to call the specialty pharmacy, and it's in Madison. I'm like, I got to drive to Madison to pick this effing thing up? So I call them and they're like, yeah, we can mail it to you. We got to sign you up for this. I'm like, okay. And then you have a Skyrizi nurse person that you got to call. And
anyway, it shows up.
Anyway, through a million phone calls and emails and all this crap that I can't stand, it finally shows up. The pen shows up, and you got a refrigerator, right? It comes in it's like frozen lobsters. You know what I mean? It comes in a freezer box with freezer bags. So you got to stick it in the fridge. You got to keep it cold. And then as I'm getting ready to take the shot with, my wife present, because I was very concerned that I mean, there's a lot of serious side effects that could occur, right? You know,
it's like that with
dizziness, fainting, right? All that stuff. You know, like severe diarrhea is one of them, which I was like, I don't really want that, and I want someone to be here in case something really bad happens to me, right? What if I have an allergic reaction? I've never had an allergic reaction to anything, but this could be the one, right? And I could end up dead on the floor. So at least if my wife's home, she could call 911 for me. So it's a self shot, right?
Yeah,
it comes
so
in a pen.
Did your thing.
And I'm nervous as hell, man. I'm reading these things and all the and like I watched several videos of people doing this thing, and the video is way too involved. The guy is like, "Hi, I'm Steve, and I'm about to take this pen and blah 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 blah, and I like to start with an open space and a lot of light, and I've got all my tables here, and I got plenty of room." And I'm like, Jesus Christ, dude. I'm like, I don't need to know about it. It's like getting a recipe on the internet. You know, you gotta read through some lady's whole life
7
story
pages of
before you get to the friggin' cups. Like, just get to the cups, lady.
Yeah, I know.
This
Jump
guy's
ahead,
telling me
jump
about
ahead,
how much.
Jump ahead.
Yes.
Can you jump ahead? Great. So you
So I
shot
watched
yourself.
I watched and then I saw the price tag on this thing, right? Because it was $21,000 for just the one pen. I'm not kidding. I have the paperwork right there.
How many pens do you get?
Well, you get one to start in week 0, right? Patient 0. And then you get one 4 weeks later, which is a booster shot, but then you don't have to take another one for like 12 weeks. And, of course, I posted video and stuff on Facebook, and I had a lot of people reach out to me and say they've been doing things like that, injectables and whatever. And I did the shot, but I was nervous as hell. You know, you can either hit yourself in the stomach, you can do the back of the arm, or you can do the thigh.
That's insane. No wonder you had so many people calling you to try to figure out your insurance or how they could figure out how to be a part of that.
I wish I could go through the minutia of the phone calls, and
that's why they want it. Think of the even if they get a tiny little cut of that, and they're somehow within the between the hospital and you, and the price tag and the thing.
Again,
and the insurance.
I had like this whole thing is foreign to me. Like I said, because in my mind, you go to the doctor, you get a prescription, you go to the pharmacy, Walgreens, CVS, whatever it is, you pick it up, you go home, and you're done. This whole thing with these people in the middle, and I'm like, what the hell do you even do? What are you doing?
So when are you supposed to see results?
Well, they said 10 to 12 weeks. So after the second shot, before the third shot, I should see some results. But there was a concerning moment because apparently you're supposed to take the cap off with it pointed upright, and I took the cap off with it pointed down way, and there was a drop, and it says, don't take it if it's leaking. And my wife's like, I don't know if you should take that. And I'm like, well, I don't know what the hell I'm supposed to do with this thing. And it wasn't really leaking, and it was okay. And it wasn't that painful. It wasn't a bit. Yeah. But I was very concerned that I was going to have a foot growing out of my head when I woke up this morning, or explosive diarrhea in the bedroom. But thankfully, nothing happened.
That's all good. Okay.
I got a little bit of a soreness on my leg where the injection site was, but other than that, no side effects.
Psoriasis, arthritis, Crohn's, and colitis. Yeah, so it's all those kinds of things.
Yeah, it's a wonder drug that works wonders. But these people that run AbbVie and all these other things, they can go F themselves. It is the most miserable experience. I mean, they were calling me every single day.
They want a piece
multiple
of that.
times a day. And they're like, well, we didn't get your birthday right, and you're going to have to call this number. And then you get your birthday correct. Then you call us back. And it's like, I am going to find you, and I am going to bury you somewhere.
Okay, well, we'll see about, I want to hear about the second one. So now we wait.
4 weeks. You want me to do it here in the studio?
Yeah, that'd be great.
Well, the problem, you got to keep it like... That's the other scary thing, too, is like, when the hell, like, do it in the basement with the lights off and, make sure the cat's not around.
Why does it have to be?
It's, it's like, yeah, the x-ray's not dangerous, but meanwhile, let me go into this office and be behind a steel blanket that, doesn't get in. It's like, meanwhile, I'm getting blasted with x-rays. And I'm not usually very, concerned about that stuff. I've been through a lot of stuff in the hospital.
This one's a little scary.
But this one was just, it's just, you don't want to mess up, and you're worried that you're going to,
because it's $21,000 if you mess up.
$21,000.
That's insane. That's American healthcare.
Yeah,
no wonder there's so many ads for it.
I couldn't believe it. I could not believe it. Here it is right there. June 2nd, 2025, Skyrizi pen, 150 milligrams / milliliter solution, 1 pen per box, $21,709.72. And the funny part was I told the AbbVie lady, too, because, the insurance is covering it. Thank God. We have good insurance. And I had a $50 copay. And I told the lady on the phone, I said, look, all of this crap that you're doing to me right now with these emails and these phone calls is not worth the $50 I'm saving. I'll pay the effing $50 if you never call me again. I said, you people are insane.
That's
insane.
Nuts. That's nuts. Well, severe psoriasis, so we hope it helps.
And we'll see. Yeah.
Before and after photos. I'm going to go look. All right.
what's funny to me is that, like I said, when I posted this, I had many people reach out to me and say, yeah, that's about what I pay for this insulin. Or
yeah,
that,
I was just going to say,
like,
that's just...
It's like, how do people even live?
It's not, and they don't have health. Yeah, there you go.
And this is this is just a beauty thing for me. You know, I mean, like, my health. Well, my health isn't in any real danger having psoriasis. I've had it forever, but I'm not like dying from it. I mean, it's not good, but people that have to get life-saving injectable medication on a regular basis and they're paying $21,000. Nope, I don't have that kind of money. AbbVie can go suck one. Those people suck. They're the worst. They're like creditors. Credit people trying to track you down. Yeah, we've been trying to get your car warranty and all this stuff. F you, man. Oh.
Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. Find them online at rockmornings.com.
Bush with Everything Zen on Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. Hypothetical Thursday, we'll get to that in a bit. Office Core is going to join us just after 8 a.m. Cheryl said, thankfully, I have good insurance or my weekly Manjaro shot for diabetes would be $1,500 for a month's supply.
Well, we know that. We have friends that have told us that.
Vicky said $21,000 for your med pen. I thought my insulin was outrageous. Lucky for you, your welcome kit was free. LOL.
It's ridiculous.
And people wonder why healthcare CEOs are getting shot to death in New York City. Not saying that I'm on that track, but I can understand where that hatred and anger and just emptiness comes from. And I haven't even, and I'm completely an outsider. But you get a bill for $21,000 for this EpiPen or this pen, you know, and like I said, mine's not even a life-saving medication for me. It's just a cosmetic, essentially.
Well, you're miserable.
Yeah, I mean, if it goes away, my quality of life will improve, but I'm not dying from it, you know. But again, if you're someone who's got a severe illness that needs some sort of, you know, the insulin guy that raised the price a billion times or whatever, it's like, yeah.
Well, that's what she's saying. Hers is triple. My neighbor's tripled.
On to more happy things. Let's
happy thoughts.
Woosah. Let's woosah.
Tell me.
Stray kitten.
Oh.
Long Island. 15 feet down a pipe outside someone's home. Firefighters apparently could not reach the cat, but a volunteer guy named John Debacker showed up and got it out in about 20 minutes by playing cat sounds on his phone.
And it crawled.
Quite honestly, I don't know how a little kitten like that made such a lot of noise. It was clearly asking for help.
It was screaming when I got there.
Oh,
I played kitten meow sounds to try to lure it out to it. And it did work. It came right out to the meow sounds. They think the siblings or mother is calling them.
Superheroes come in all different sizes and shapes, and he had that kitten out in 20 minutes.
Little cat sounds on his phone. He works for a group called Long Island Cat Kitten Solutions, catches strays to spay or neuter them. The kitten he saved is now up for adoption. Since she was found in a pipe, they named her...
I don't know.
Piper.
Ow.
You ready for this one?
I don't know.
I'm glad you're sitting down.
Is it another kitten?
You got tissues?
I do, actually.
A woman in Chicago.
Okay, I'm with you.
Named Lane Horwich. Diagnosed with breast cancer at the age of 100. Now cancer-free at the age of 101. Doctor said a lot of people her age don't even bother with treatment. Lane doesn't plan on kicking the bucket anytime soon. Did an interview to encourage people to be proactive with their health no matter how old they are.
Many 100-year-olds would probably choose to do nothing, and we talked about that as an option. She had done her own research and learned that the pill form, the medication, could cause hair thinning. And she told me that by no means did she want that because she went to the beauty parlor every week.
I have a picture of me coming out after the surgery, and it's really funny because it doesn't look like anything happened.
Diagnosed with stage 1 breast cancer at the age of 100. I was putting on my nightgown one night and realized there was a lump there. Her granddaughter took her for a mammogram, doctors confirming the diagnosis. Didn't let her age stop her from fighting against the cancer. She said, I wanted it out. I was so happy I didn't have a stroke or a heart attack because I would have been incapacitated. Attributes her long life and health to staying active and a little bit of luck. She said, I did play tennis until I was 92, and I think that was good. I was active. Yeah, right?
Oh, wow.
Oncologists said her active lifestyle and health were why Horwich had options for treatment. Many 100-year-olds would probably choose to do nothing, and we talked about that as an option. 100-year-old lady, breast cancer, said, yeah, F you. How about some of this then?
How about some of this then? That's what she said.
Yeah. Says a lot about
Amazing.
The fight. The size of the fight in the dog. You know?
Yep.
Hypothetical Thursday is coming up in just a bit. Don't go anywhere.
Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. Start your day with Rock Mornings.
Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. Up near 80 today with some sunshine, maybe a few clouds rolling through. Then 75 tomorrow. Increasingly cloudy. And then maybe some showers on Saturday night into Sunday morning. But somewhere in the mid-70s both days.
Yeah, and the air quality is much better. Much better.
Yeah. You can see. Just
yeah,
look
you
out
can
and
tell by it's less hazy and no warnings in effect for any of our areas today.
Our friend Office Cora has been MIA for the last couple of weeks, but she will join us just after 8 o'clock this morning. Chime in on our Hypothetical Thursday and see what she's up to in the 715 this weekend. You're going first this week, Gene, so what do you got?
Would you rather be 3 feet tall or 9 feet tall?
9 feet tall.
What do you mean? That's easy?
Oh, man. It's
9 feet tall.
Dude. You'd rather be 3 feet tall?
I don't know, but you didn't even give it a second to think about it before you...
Shorter is never better. Sorry, short people. Nobody wants to be shorter.
9 feet, though. That's like... That's freak. That's can't fit into anything. Can't get around. Can't do things. Can't do stuff.
I'd be a billionaire. I'd make a billion.
Miserable.
Yeah, but I'd be a billionaire. I'd be a miserable billionaire.
How would you be a billionaire?
Well, I don't know. I'd figure it out. I mean, but 9 feet tall means you've got you have a way of making money just for
tallest
existing.
man in history.
Well,
is that?
You could play basketball, right?
I think they're miserable, aren't they?
Oh, I'm sure they are. I'm not saying it's great, but I mean,
almost 9 feet tall.
When you're 5'9", 5'10", which is about what I am, there's nothing special about you. When you're 3 feet tall, though, everybody just wants to pick you up. When you're 9 feet tall, no one messes with you, man. Like you're a selfie
freak,
machine.
Though.
Yeah, so I'm a freak.
Like you wouldn't fit in a car, you couldn't fit underneath a shower, you couldn't fit under a doorway, you couldn't fit in a bed, you couldn't fit in
car.
Like think of how impossible it would be just to live regular life.
Yeah. I'd rather not be able to fit into a regular bed than have to buy baby shoes every time I go out to the store.
But you'd have to buy specially made shoes, gigantic shoes.
What about going to the bathroom when you're 3 feet tall and it's not a urinal? And you're in a toilet at a restaurant.
Well, 9 feet, you'd be
how
way
the
above.
hell?
What,
How the hell?
Squat all the time?
What do I got to get a bench? Can you come in here and hold me?
You sit in a restaurant. You couldn't sit at a table in a restaurant.
I don't want to be short. I guarantee you the majority. I guarantee you the majority, and I don't know about women, but I guarantee you the majority of men would take 9 feet tall over 3 feet short.
You couldn't get around. Think about the impossibleness of even being places. Like sitting in a restaurant, sitting on a plane, sitting in a train, sitting in a car.
You can get into those things.
How would you, everything would be custom made for you?
Hell yeah.
And you'd be
balling.
okay.
I'd be balling. I wouldn't be wearing baby clothes.
No, but you'd be all like...
I don't want to be short. 3 feet tall. Are you kidding me? I'd have to keep asking, can you get that for me? How do you get anything off the top shelf? How do you get anything good off the shelf when you're going grocery shopping?
Grabbers.
You can't even do the cart. I got to add the little baby cart when I go the little kid cart. Look at me, Mommy. I'm shopping too.
Oh, you could shop.
Oh, you can't.
Sure you could.
Bro, 9 feet tall wins every time. I want nothing to do with being 3 feet tall. Are you telling me you'd take 3 feet tall? Now, if you gave me the option of being like Ant-Man, where I could disappear and go subatomic and into people's ears and stuff like that, like can I shrink and
I didn't say this was I don't think we went with superpower. We're just one or the other.
Yeah, I'm going 9 feet.
All right.
I would never even for a second consider 3 feet tall. Never.
Well, obviously, by how quickly you answered that.
Think how big your wiener is, too, when you're 9 feet tall.
I doubt it.
Oh,
you're just all bent and miserable.
9-foot dude's got to be like foot and a half long. Got to be 18 inches.
And always with a cane. Did you ever see pictures? They're always they look miserable.
Nowadays, I just took a $21,000 shot.
That's okay.
There's good drugs out there for 9-foot people, okay? Things are better for them now.
Everything's all massive and weird looking.
Better than being short and can't reach anything on the shelf. Everything's got to be on the bottom shelf, the cabinets.
You can figure that out.
9 foot.
Okay.
Brandon texted in, said 9 foot for sure.
Of course. Here we go.
Brenda said being short sucks.
Well, I don't think
Brenda's short. I can't get these goddamn text messages to load. Does everything in this place just have to not work when I need it to work? Brenda said 9 feet tall. Do you know how nice it would be to see concerts? Another one outside the box.
Oh my gosh.
Love it.
Brenda.
No one's standing in front of you at the show when you're 9 feet tall and blocking your view. She said, being short sucks. All the tall people stand in front of me.
Is she short like my friend is short? Like 4 something? Is that she?
Well,
Shaw short?
We've got some good friends of ours, Sean and Christy. Christy's like 4'8". She's tiny. She's lovely. I love her to death. She's great. Wonderful girl. But I can't imagine the struggle of being that short in a daily situation.
Yeah, but you can't imagine how bad it would be to be that tall either. Nothing, like I said, nothing would fit.
Any day of the week,
Showering
twice on.
like this.
I'd go outside. I'd have a custom shower made with a hose. One of them camp showers with the bag. Gets heated up by the sun. I'm good. I'm fine.
Well, let us know. Hypothetically.
I live in a house where the guy built everything bigger, right? I told you this. When we first moved in, the shower head is like way the F up here.
It's already built for
It's
that.
huge. And I was I said to him, I texted him, man, what's with this pergola? Why is it so big? And he said, well, I'm almost 7 feet tall, and I didn't want to be banging my head on this thing when I built it. And it's awesome. I love it. And it's way bigger than what I need, but it's spectacular. I would totally go 9 foot.
Mowing your lawn like this?
No, I'd have a special mower. I'd pay somebody. I'd be a billionaire. I told you. Cody said a cane is just used due to the weight of that third leg. I told you, man.
Cody, get out of here.
18 inches.
Get out.
Soft.
Not.
Just hanging around down there. Ringing the bells at Notre Dame. Ding dong, ding dong. Hypothetical Thursday. Gene's question for me. Would I rather be 9 feet tall or 3 feet tall? It wasn't even a question. Didn't even give it a moment's thought. No, thank you. You're going with 3 feet?
Probably.
You don't want to be 9 feet tall?
I think that would be awful. I mean, I think both. That's why it's a hypothetical question. I don't think there's an easy way of life in either one, but yes, I would probably do that.
Sports coming up after Hollywood Undead.
Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. Find the daily podcast at rockmornings.com.
Brew Crew over the Reds yesterday, 9-1. 7-10 first pitch tonight against the Padres, first of 3 against San Diego. NHL last night, Leon Draisaitl, power play and overtime, giving the Oilers a 4-3 win over the Panthers in Game 1 of the Stanley Cup Final. Game 2 is tomorrow night at 7 on TNT, Edmonton hosting Florida. And Game 1 of the NBA Finals tonight at 7:30 on ABC, Indiana at Oklahoma City. This is awesome news, and I hope more of these betting sites do this. This may be the standard going forward.
Okay, what's up?
FanDuel said it has banned a bettor who posted a video of himself heckling Olympic gold medalist Gabby Thomas at a recent track event and claimed that it made my parlay win. So he bet on his parlay that she would lose. He goes to the track meet and heckles her to try to get in her head.
We talked about this.
We did yesterday. And she lost, and it made his parlay win. Thomas posting on Twitter that an unnamed man followed her around the track as I took pictures and signed autographs for fans, mostly children, shouting personal insults.
Yes, right. I remember this.
This was last weekend at a Grand Slam track event in Philly. Grand Slam Track said in a statement that it is conducting a full investigation into the reprehensible behavior that was captured on video. That's the other thing. This guy put the evidence right out there for everybody to see because he's a friggin' moron. We are all working to identify the individual involved, and we will take appropriate action as necessary, said Grand Slam Track Events. We will implement additional safeguards to help prevent incidents like this in the future. Let us be clear. Despicable behavior like this will not be tolerated. This guy, who shouldn't be hard to track down because he goes by Mr. 100K a day on social media and describes himself as the track and field bully.
Oh, my gosh.
Posted a video of himself heckling Thomas ahead of the 100-meter race alongside a screenshot of a $1,000 parlay bet on FanDuel. Said, I made Gabby lose by heckling her, and it made my parlay win.
Oh, my gosh, this guy.
And now FanDuel has banned this guy from betting on their site, and you got to hope, fingers crossed, that more betting sites who know who this guy is, because I'm assuming he's not just on FanDuel, say, bro, good luck with your life, because you're not betting on our site anymore if you're going to be doing this.
Betting, he's making money, he's creating an online presence that purposefully goes after athletes, and he's proud of it.
Yeah. And look, I get it, dude. You buy a ticket, you go, you boo the other team, you try to get in their head, you make them lose. But it's a whole different thing when you're doing this for financial gain. I mean, it's
reprehensible behavior. Isn't that what you said?
Yeah. And these leagues are not, and like you're seeing it more and more. Like these gambling sites are going to have, they're putting out these PSAs about like sending death threats because that's where it goes next. You know what I mean? We just saw it with this guy
in the
Astros pitcher. You know, so it's not a hop, skip, and a jump away. It's disgusting. Not long after the Packers' season-opening loss to the Eagles last season in Sao Paulo, Brazil, three-time Pro Bowl defensive tackle Kenny Clark bashing the field conditions at the arena down there in Sao Paulo where the game was played. Now, 9 months later, it became clear just why Clark felt so strongly at the time. He revealed earlier this week after a Packers OTA practice that he underwent surgery in January shortly after the season to fix a problem with his right foot that he says started when they played in Brazil.
Oh.
Way back in September.
Oh.
Clark said the injury occurred when he got his right foot stuck in the turf, which was a problem for several players during the game in Brazil. He said it was really just the turf out there. Said he dealt with a bunion and a bone spur, which led to the surgery, and now he's recovered and he's good to go. But
the turf in Brazil?
Yeah, that was in September.
I remember
in January,
that, yeah.
After the season was over, had to go get surgery on his foot. And the NBA All-Star Game going to look different in 2026. During an appearance on FS1's Breakfast Ball, the commissioner of the NBA, Adam Silver, announced that the All-Star Game in 2026 is going to be like the Four Nations face-off in the NHL, USA versus the world. Silver asked if the previously discussed idea would make an appearance in 2026, said yes. Next year, as part of our new media deals, the All-Star Game returns to NBC, where it was when we were younger. And it so happens that next season will be smack in the middle of the Winter Olympics. So the USA taking on the world.
So they're going to do like the hockey thing?
I don't think they're going to do like four teams. What they're going to do is one team made up of the best players from the U.S., and then Luka Doncic and everybody else, you know.
One team from the rest of the world?
You know, all those guys. The Joker.
Forming together like the international
something along
best of
just
thing?
One team, yeah. So I think the world's going to kick our ass.
I was just going to say, what?
Like yeah. And I'm
yeah, I know you're Team USA.
I'm Captain America, don't get me wrong here, but I don't know if we got much of a chance. I mean, I like Jason Tatum and LeBron, but LeBron's 50, you know what I mean? Anthony Edwards, I don't know, can that guy do it? Karl Anthony Towns, I mean, Tyrese Hall, I mean, I don't even know. I mean, there's so many good players in the NBA that are USA born. I don't know who they're going to narrow it down to, but
the world's
big
place.
Yeah, a lot of good players. Sports on Rock Mornings. Hypothetical Thursday continuing in just a bit with my question for Gene.
Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. Weekdays, 6 to 9.
Kill Switch Engage with I Believe on Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. I got a text from Tony. It says, standard ceiling height, 8 feet tall in a home. I'm still going 9 foot and not visiting people that live in a standard house. And I told Tony, if I'm 9 feet tall, then I set the effing standard. It's no longer 8 feet.
I know that was your question. 3 feet or 9 feet? tall, and you went 9 feet.
Immediately.
Yeah.
Immediately. Most of the people that reached out to me seem to agree with that. Hypothetical Thursday on Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. Office Cora going to join us just after 8 o'clock. We'll see what her answer is for that question. And we'll see what her answer is for this question. Similar to yours, mine's a...
would you rather kind of almost?
Who'd you rather?
All right.
You got 2 options. Your body is A...
Oh, gosh.
Completely covered in hair. Or B... Completely hairless.
Hairless. I think. Wait. Yes.
And that's permanent. Now, you can shave the hair, but it grows back. And there's no, it's not immediate like the Santa Claus.
Probably hairless. My sister-in-law was just visiting. I think I can
And
tell
I mean
her.
body, whole body.
I think you're right.
Pits, parts, and privates,
I
the
think
whole
I can
thing.
tell her story. She has...
You could just say, I have a person I know.
Well, she lives in Utah, and I'm sure she's not listening. But I don't think she'd care. It's a...
Alopecia? She's
Yes.
got the Jada Smith thing?
Yes.
Jada Pinkett?
And it's, obviously it's an autoimmune disorder or whatever. But so she... and what's so funny is that years ago, it started affecting her. And we didn't know that she had basically lost all of her hair on her head and had been wearing a wig for years. And we didn't even know until she told us.
So good wigs are? Did she tell you how much they cost?
No, I didn't ask. But she told us.
She do the tattooed eyebrows, or she do the...
So she'd been wearing a wig, and we hadn't noticed. But now, she has no eyelashes and no eyebrows or anything. She doesn't do much with her eyelashes, a little bit of line, but she does she does pencil in here, but she's completely and
did it increase her times in the pool? I mean, no.
No, but like I said, we didn't know, and then it was she'd take a shower and then just come out, and I'm like, how is her hair? She wouldn't dry her hair. I wouldn't hear the hair dryer or anything, and finally she's like, you guys, how did you not know this? Don't you look at me? How'd you not know? And I'm like, I guess I never put two and two. But so I would go hairless.
Hairless, huh?
Yeah, for sure. Way less maintenance on all the things.
That's true.
Because if it's hairy all over, I'm already plucking weird. You know what I mean? I don't.
And I mean hair
everywhere. I'm almost like
the dog boy,
like a Sasquatch.
Sort of like the dog boy at the circus,
Yeah.
with the hairy face.
No, I'm going hairless for sure.
Hairless.
Yeah. Good wig. Tattoo some eyebrows. And who cares about the rest? You know what I mean? Okay, whatever. Just shaving anyway. And I have light hair. Can you even see, really?
No, I see your age spots, but I don't see your hair.
You're funny. You're hilarious. Look.
But I do see that weird hair on your chin.
Yeah.
You have like a witch hair.
No, I don't.
I'm just kidding.
I don't.
Trying to make you self-conscious. So you'd go hairless?
Yes, for sure.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd look really stupid without a beard.
I remember. We did that for Men's Health, right? You shaved. It was the month of November.
Movember, yeah.
Yeah, Movember.
And I don't look smart or normal with a chin.
Well, it's a chin thing, isn't it?
I don't have a strong, good chin. But I don't have one of those chins that's not, one of these chins.
It's not chiseled, and it's not.
No, it's not Tom Brady-esque.
And it's
just a chin. And it looks dumb without a beard on it. So yeah, I would go hair.
Really?
Because I don't want to wear. What are they? Not a merkin. What like a beard?
Merkin?
No, merkin's for your pubes.
I know.
I don't. Whatever.
Face merkin?
Yeah, I'm not wearing a fake beard.
Well, you could just get used to the way your chin looked.
I don't know, man. I had it for a long time, and I didn't like it then. As soon as I could start growing facial hair, I just said, let's do it.
I know. That Movember was shocking. I was like,
yeah.
Oh, okay. Different look, different face, different chin. Let's get used to it.
Are there exercises you can even do to increase your?
No, your chin.
Your muscles, but what about is there some kind of thing you can?
You could have an implant.
I'm not doing that.
You could have chin implants. No. Make it more Tom Brady-esque.
I'm not doing chin implants.
Like some sort of chiseled chin. They could do
if I'm getting any kind of implants, it's six pack abs. I'm getting rid of this and I'm putting the abs in. That's what I'm doing. And I'm gonna go full hair. I'm gonna go full dog boy at the circus hair.
So you're going to be 9 feet tall, covered in hair.
Hell yeah, man. Dude, I'd be raking in dough. Raking it in. Teen Wolf, new Teen Wolf movie. All about me.
Sasquatch. You could go up in upper Colorado River and walk around in the woods, and people could take videos.
Good-ass videos. Instead of these blurry-ass videos they keep taking. All right, so who'd you rather? For Jean, it's hairless or
for sure.
Full of hair, and she says hairless.
Yeah, for sure.
Jean likes it bald.
I would definitely do that. Like I said, I just was with my sister-in-law, and she's got it down.
I suppose for every person that... I mean, would she choose hair, or would... You know?
I guess I don't know, but I think that she...
Look, a body covered with hair is different than having normal hair, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's a completely different... But also being completely... You know, then you got the people like... what was this guy's name? The basketball player, Charlie Villanueva, I think was his name. And he was He was a pretty good college basketball player. He made it into the NBA. I don't think he really became a starter or anything, but he was, I don't know if it was alopecia or what he had, but no hair, like no eyebrows, no nothing.
It's like my sister-in-law, yeah.
And I'm sure he would say, man, give me all that hair.
Yeah.
You know?
I don't know how it affects, the hair on her head is one thing, and obviously came to grips with that with the wig years ago, but I don't know if, no eyelashes bother, you get, more irritation and things like that.
Don't they have eyebrows you can stick on? Rather than the tattoo or the drawing? I think the drawing ones look...
She doesn't have the tattoos.
But people can get the tattoo.
It's very light that she does, because I don't think she wants...
But don't they have hair that you can glue on or something for your eyelashes or your eyebrows?
Like the stick-on mustaches? Is that
well, something a little more professional than that. Not something you buy at a joke store.
That's what I'm saying. You were saying
Joke
that.
Man store. No, I'm talking about
a
salon where you go to
hand.
you go to a salon and you get the lashes on, you get nails, you get hair.
Might be able to do that.
I'm assuming they do eyebrows, right? No, or is it just coloring?
I don't know. Well, she chooses apparently not to do any of that. Right. So.
Hypothetical Thursday. Asking each other hypothetical questions. We'll get Office Core in on the goodness. Alex said normally the lashes, not the eyebrows, apparently. Once again, the texting not working.
Thank you for being part of Hypothetical.
They use a pen to fill in some of the lighter hairs. Thank you, Alex.
Thanks.
Yeah. Never had it done, so I wouldn't know.
Yeah.
It's Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. We've got some Smashing Pumpkins in a bit. If you want to get in touch with us, visit rockmornings.com. Brandon agrees. Full of hair. Same with my... being 9 feet tall, being a big old Sasquatch.
He's just agreeing.
Chewbacca. It'd be Chewbacca. It'd be
Agreeable
Chewbacca.
Ryan. What's his name?
Huh?
Agreeable Ryan. What's his name?
Oh,
you say?
Brandon.
Brandon.
Agreeable Brandon.
Yes. He just says yes.
He'd be Chewbacca. Everybody loves Chewbacca. Right?
You can go up to
He's got
northern
a sweet-ass
Wisconsin,
crossbow that fires lasers.
scare people,
I mean, his best friend died, but...
break into houses.
Yeah, hell yeah. You just break into someone's house. You're 9 feet tall and covered in hair. What are they going to do?
Yeah, run.
Yeah. See? Way better than me at a 3-foot bald person. No hair. That guy. Mini me.
Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. Find them online at rockmornings.com.
Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene, and the triumphant return of Office Cora. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
We're doing good. It's been a couple of weeks. You had some stuff going on, so you needed to take a couple weeks off, but you're back. And and we've got some news about your living situation. Now, when we first heard about this whole thing months and months and months ago, I was very concerned about your safety because you have several strangers living in your house like an Airbnb. And these people had free range to just sort of roam around the house and go wherever they wanted to. And did you take my concerns to heart? Is that why you now have locks on the doors?
You suggested that I install locking on all of the bedrooms, and I did. Great advice.
So you own a home, you have many bedrooms in the house, you basically put out ads, and then you rent out the rooms to people, and now they have the opportunity to be able to lock their own door.
Yes.
I
and I can lock my door.
Which I think is good for peace of mind. I mean, you don't want someone, what if there's a kerfluffle, right? There's a disagreement about something, and you may not know these people as well as you would like to know them, and this guy could go in someone's room and do something, that is not
I think it's good that you have a lock on your door, is what we're saying. We feel like that's a safer option. And you have new roommates? Is that what you're saying?
I do.
What do they do? What are you getting out of the deal? Because you always seem to get roommates that have jobs that can help you out at some point.
Yes, this is true. So I have a physical therapy doctor in training in the basement, and I've all of a sudden getting kind of like maybe a tendonitis, carpal tunnel issue in my right hand, and boom, I got a physical therapist right downstairs.
Awesome.
And then right across the hall from me, his name is Ethan, and he came in with a guitar. All of a sudden, I didn't even realize. I wake up Sunday morning to kind of like a violin concert.
Ooh.
And then I come home a few hours later, and it was kind of the sound of a pop medley, vocals and guitar from behind a closed door.
I'm not feeling that.
And honestly, it just kind of made me smile.
Well,
I was wondering if maybe,
I'd bounce his ass out of there.
Like the luckiest secret audience member in the world.
No, I don't want that guy.
I didn't know if I should clap. I think he would have welcomed that.
No. I don't want the Oasis guy doing Wonderwall every time I come home. I don't want that violin. No, bro, get that violin out of here.
Yes.
Yeah, we're not playing Charlie Day. We're not going down to Georgia, all right? No, we're not doing Kumbaya up here.
Nope.
It was so good, though. At first, I thought he was watching a YouTube video or something. Nope. It was him, live, violin and all.
Man, that is an eclectic.
He actually plays like 5 different instruments.
That is an eclectic mix of people.
Who performed at Carnegie Hall in New York.
So who else is in there? You got
some genetics.
You got a physical therapist. You got a musician. Is the nurse still? Wasn't there a nurse living with you that rode a bicycle?
Yes, but now the musician is in her room.
Okay, so you've got a musician, a physical therapist.
Is there someone that can fix things around the house, like a handyman?
Well, that's Andrew. He's also in charge of lawn care.
All right, so you got a guy that does stuff.
Yep.
Around the house, so that's good.
So that's 3.
A physical therapist and a musician.
And so you only have 3 in the house right now? You got an open spot?
No, there's just 4 bedrooms, so there's one for me and then those 3.
All right.
It's nice, a full house.
Nice commune.
Nice mix.
Popping on the south side.
Office Cora joining us on the phone. It's Hypothetical Thursday. You haven't played in a while. Gene and I asked each other a couple of who'd you rather questions. So we'll fire these off to you and see what your answers are. Gene asked me, would I rather be 9 feet tall or 3 feet tall?
Ooh. Definitely 9 feet.
That's what I'm saying. Gene's an idiot.
I just think, I don't know, I think it would be really fun to be able to, like, dunk a basketball. There's a lot of things you can do from way up there.
Yeah. There is a lot of things you can do from way up there,
If
Gene.
you're way down there, it'd be hard to get things off tall shelves, and you always have, like, you can't see at concerts.
Bang, bang, bang. I don't know why you think being short is an advantage.
I don't think it is. I just think, Cora, you couldn't fit in any car. You couldn't sit at a restaurant table. You couldn't take a shower in your own home. You couldn't walk through. You'd have to get a specialty bed. You wouldn't fit in your shoes.
Andrew would make one.
Like you.
Yes. But if you were 3 feet, I don't think you could drive a car.
I don't think you could drive a car if you were 9 feet.
Well, then that's a wash. So that point no longer is valid.
Correct.
All right, so that was Gene's question for me, was 9 feet or 3 feet. And
I love that question.
My question for Gene was, who'd you rather, essentially, would you rather be completely covered in hair from head to toe, sort of like the Dog Boy or maybe Wolfman or Sasquatch, or would you rather be completely hairless, no hair, no eyebrows, no eyelashes, no hair, no mustache, no beard, no arm hair, no leg hair, no foot hair, none of that?
Ooh. Oh my goodness. I think I would be hairless because I have a hairless cat who totally loves that life. And, just wear cute hats.
That's what I said too.
I would go with hair because I look stupid without a beard.
And he's 9 feet tall. So then you're 9 feet tall, you're covered with hair, and you could be
Chewbacca.
On people's grainy videos from, the upper rivers of Colorado. Like
driving around in my custom car. Wearing my custom sneakers. Do you have a hypothetical question for us that you'd like to share, Office Score?
I do.
Okay.
If you could shrink anything to pocket-sized, what would it be? I would pick, like, a motivational coach. Just, like, every once in a while, pull out this little guy who's like, you got this, Cora. You know, every once in a while.
You got to get one of those living in your basement.
I do. That's great.
What's that guy's name? Anthony, what's his name? The big guy with the big hands?
I do not need that.
What's that guy's name?
No way.
I don't know. I got to be honest. As I'm pondering it would be nice to have someone be a cheerleader for you all the time and say positive. Do you know how often you... do you know how... No, I don't need that. I don't need the whole rah-rah thing.
Go, Brian.
No.
Go, Brian.
No.
Go, Brian.
I shouldn't have said cheerleader. I shouldn't have said cheerleader.
Go, Brian.
I made a mistake with the word cheerleader.
Give me a B.
I made a mistake
Give me
with the
an
word
I.
cheerleader. All right, I'm retracting the word cheerleader. It would be nice to have someone give you positive reinforcement all the time. Do you know how often I get a compliment? It's like never.
Right, out of your pocket.
Just all the time, having someone say, that was a good job. You did a good job. Knowing how hard you worked. Saying, hey, you did a great job. Thank you very much. You know, like instead of negative reinforcement all the time.
Can it get bigger? The thing in my pocket? Does it have to stay small?
Pocket. Yeah.
It has to stay small?
Yeah. Yeah, it's a big one in your pocket.
Office Score, I like your idea. I don't know if that would be what I would choose, though. I do appreciate what you're saying.
Can it be a magic wand?
Ooh, I like it.
A little miniature magic wand that I can do
first of all, they don't exist.
Oh, it has to be something real? A unicorn. Oh, wait.
Trying to think, because we already have a phone, and that's got everything in it that you need, and that fits in the pocket,
It does fit in the pocket.
True.
It does. Tom Brady.
Ooh.
Yeah. I like it.
So when I take it out of my pocket, does it go back to its original size?
No, it stays small.
Stay small.
I was going to say yacht.
Well, that's fine. That's what I'm saying.
I don't know. That would require a little more thought, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to think.
What do I want
a pizza? I don't know. Like
what do I want? Yeah, but that's just a little tiny thing. I don't want that.
No, but but then you can't, like she said, if it stays small, my dog.
Well, I know I thought about that too. Do I just want to?
Because I'd like to keep my dog as a
around?
puppy, as opposed to a full-grown dog, which is a real pain in the ass.
You can just take your dog to work every day.
Yes.
Yeah, because he fits in your pocket.
But I don't want a teacup dog. You know what I mean? Like,
you want a regular-sized dog made really, really tiny?
All right, we can't answer.
Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
You kind of stumped us on this whole thing.
I love your answers.
We got a text from Doc. He said, "Tell Office Corps that Doc and Lori say hi. Can't wait to see her again at Rockfest."
Oh, that's sweet.
Oh, I love it. I can't wait either.
Got a text from someone else that said Office Corps keeps people in her basement. It's the ones that seem so sweet that have people in their basement.
Well, that is true.
Doug said, you want Stuart Smalley giving you positive affirmations. People like you. Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
Who doesn't? Dude, when you're a man, you never hear compliments. No one ever compliments you, and not in a real way. I mean, you get like, oh, you look nice in that shirt. Oh, thanks.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They're not real compliments.
Your beard does really good things for your chin. How's that?
Yeah. So having someone compliment you and be, legitimate about it all the time would be nice. Nice to hear that kind of reinforcement.
See, I like it.
Yeah. What are you doing this weekend in the 715 Office Corps? What do you got going on? You busy?
Well, I have to decide because there's two festivals. Cinder City Days in Altoona. Saturday night, Chris Cruzy is putting on a concert, and it's free. You bring a lawn chair, a blanket. Show starts at 7:30.
That's cool.
Is that the guy from the talent show on TV?
Yeah,
Chris Cruzy? Okay.
And, from The Voice. He was on Team Blake. And also, it's Duran Fun Fest, and that's where I went to high school. And the Dweebs will be playing there.
Oh, a lot of fun.
They're just fun. And so I have to decide between those two. It's kind of a toss-up because I'll run into high school peeps.
Right.
It'll be fun.
So Duran Fun Fest or the
Cinder City Days.
And you don't know which one you're going to do. Can you go to both?
Well, I really like the the shows on both Saturday nights.
All right.
And then for tomorrow, it is Food Truck Fridays in Phoenix Park, 11 a.m. until 7 p.m.
Ooh.
And, I mean, you just kind of roll into the weekend with a delicious lineup of like 10 or more food, snack, drink trucks, dishing out everything from sweet treats to savory eats. And I like it.
I like the fact that it starts at 11. That's nice.
That's your
my
jam.
Get out of work and get some barbecue or something. Hell yeah.
Oh, I love it.
All right,
It just says
Avascore.
summertime.
Whatever you do this weekend, I hope you have a lot of fun. Are you going with any of your roommates? Do you hang out with your roommates, or you just see them when you're at home?
They actually just moved in
Okay.
on the 1st, so we're pretty new,
Well, getting drunk and
I think
watching the dweebs might be a good way to have
Break
a
the
shared
ice,
experience.
icebreaker.
I think you're right. Plus, I mean, Ethan's a musician, so he's gonna really dig the music.
All right, she's in love. You're in love with Ethan. You had a lot of things to say about Ethan. It's pretty obvious you're in love with Ethan.
Get over it.
Talking about his performances and his mom. You know about his mom already.
Yes,
and
she's a
Oh
musician.
my gosh, his grandpa from the Philippines
In love.
is an Elvis Presley
Impersonator? Oh.
Yeah, you guys are in love.
that?
When is the marriage? When are you getting married
No,
to
it's
Ethan?
not that.
my
Stop
God.
that. Not
Have
that.
I mentioned that he's like 23?
Yeah.
That's perfect.
He's young. No.
Robbing the cradle. That's
No.
great.
Ew.
You got a toy boy.
No.
Oh my God.
All right, thank you, dear. We'll talk to you.
Stop. Bye, guys.
Avascore, always a pleasure. Thursdays, we talk to Avascore, find out what she's doing in the 715.
It's anonymous, it's fast, and it's free.
That's the way that we like it, Gene. Anonymous, fast, and free.
Those two big ones.
I like two big ones.
Thanks, Cora.
Man, that small thing it's kind of stumped me.
I know, me too.
Because if it doesn't get any, if it doesn't resize, then what's the point of making it smaller?
I don't know. Because would I want to secretly tase people and they wouldn't know it? Like walk by?
Yeah, but if you have a little taser, it's not going to do anything.
thing?
I'm trying to think of anything that I...
And money doesn't help, right? A
No,
winning
'cause it's
Powerball
not-
ticket because it's still small?
Well, you'd have to get the winning Powerball ticket.
How about like...
I think it's just a thing you have every day that you have to carry around that...
Now is small. No, I think it'd be anything.
Can I put my stress in there?
No. Like the Eiffel Tower. I'm going to shrink it and put it in my pocket. That kind of thing.
All right. But then what? I think that motivational speaker would give up after like 1 minute of being in your pocket. You'd be like, dude, I got to get the hell out of here.
This is terrible.
All right.
I got to think about it.
Bad News, Happy Music is coming up in just a bit. Rockmornings.com if you want to get in touch with us. All of our contact info there. Also, the latest from Mammoth next.
Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. More from Brian and Gene is coming up.
You're about to enter a beautiful, exciting, wonderful new world.
A cockroach living in your nostril. Now that's just nasty. Add in some haven't pooped for 30 days.
Poop is raining from the ceilings. Poop.
And sprinkle in some hashtag Florida Man for flavor.
Florida man. Florida man. Florida man. Florida man. Florida man.
Florida man.
Florida man quits his Burger King job, steals all of their chicken nuggets.
It's bad news.
Bad news.
With happy music.
Let's rock.
What's your kid's favorite way to play with bubbles?
Play with bubbles?
Is it the stick in the plastic thing and you blow them, or the big one,
the big
or
ones,
is there like the
probably.
gun, or like a little?
We used to have like a fan thing. It was like
Uh-huh.
go like that. But right now, I'd say our favorite way is we got some bacon flavored ones that we blow into the dog's face, and then they go after them.
Yeah.
And they're edible. They're not soap. You know, they're supposed to be a dog treat. So I'd say
Are those
right
just
now
the wand with the blowing?
It's wands with the blowing. Yeah.
Okay. You ever get pepper sprayed by an older woman because you were blowing bubbles in your backyard?
No, but I did see a guy get really yelled at once for doing the big ones, and like somebody went Karen on him, and it was like
Where was that at?
It's downtown here, as a matter of fact. He was all dressed in black, so I I mean, like with a hood and everything, so I get that he looked kind of scary when he was dealing with kids and stuff, but Someone was blowing bubbles in their own backyard and then got tased.
Hashtag Florida woman. 81-year-old hashtag Florida
She's
woman.
Not putting up with it. Is that the deal?
Arrested last week for pepper spraying her neighbors, including 2 young girls aged 3 and 6. The unusual incident reportedly started because of a child playing with bubbles. Ada Anderson, now facing several charges of battery. Her neighbor, April Morant, said her daughters were playing in their yard when Anderson allegedly started yelling and then sprayed them with pepper spray. Bubbles. Literally. The bubbles put her in a whole other arena.
Man, she really, really, really hates those.
Tiny bubbles.
Like, hates bubbles.
Make me warm all over.
Wow. Morant thought Anderson had a gun at first. I didn't know what was in her hand, and then she sprayed it.
Little.
Police believe it was pepper spray. Morant's 6-year-old felt her nose went to burning. Not apparently the first time they've had trouble with this neighbor. It sounds like this is an ongoing thing. Morant said Anderson has used insults and racial slurs against them since they moved in.
Oh, boy.
Since day one, I have recordings of her. Another neighbor, Gary Weber, said both sides have caused problems with the Morant family, also harassing Anderson. Hatfields and McCoys, apparently. Anderson has been released from jail on bond. Morant wishes the charges were more serious, especially because of the children and the alleged hate crime aspect. She said, just battery, but nothing on the kids or maybe even a hate crime because you were saying all this stuff while you were pepper spraying. She's planning on getting a restraining order on this one.
Well, I think, yeah. They may be fighting back and forth, but you can't pepper spray 3-year-olds for bubbles.
No. Nope. Can't do that. Even if they're throwing the bubbles at your house?
You can't throw bubbles
at a child. There's literally nothing they could do with the bubbles. In their own yard, in regards to the neighbor, that would require them to pepper spray a 3-year-old.
You really have a problem and you think you're lawful, you call the police.
Another old lady, this one in Texas, 76-year-old woman in Texas, assaulted a man's wife because she was furious that he was playing bagpipes in a park. She also threatened to call her husband, who's a federal judge. This guy apparently did show up at one point, the husband, but he's not accused of doing anything wrong. However, the woman, the wife, is.
She said, I had no right to play here in this public park. And she said, I'm going to call my husband. He's a federal judge, and he's going to make you stop. She basically swiped at my wife's face.
Oh, my gosh.
By the way, the judge in this whole ordeal is a bankruptcy judge. He's not a criminal judge. He's a bankruptcy judge. So let's just cool the jets here on the whole my husband's a judge thing. Okay? Let's just reel that one in, bitch. You dumb bitch.
Because he was playing an instrument in a park?
Yeah, so this guy's Scottish, and he's
people.
Angry old white lady. Just can't. The Karens can't stop, man. They just can't. They just can't. They can't wrap their head around the fact that other people enjoy doing things. The wife of a federal bankruptcy judge in Texas, now behind bars after she became upset about a man playing bagpipes and assaulted his wife. Eunice Isger. That's how you know it's going to be good. Some old crank named Ismer. Eunice Ismer, or Isger, 76, stands accused of assault with bodily injury. This happened on May 26th, Terry Hershey Park in Houston, Texas. She allegedly became enraged that the man was playing bagpipes in a secluded area of the park. She confronted the man while recording on her phone, started yelling at him. Man's wife saw the argument, started recording herself. That's the first thing anybody does. Gotta get it. Gotta get these phones out. Gotta get it all on tape.
Well, yeah. You're going nuts. You're yelling. You're pointing. You're playing the bagpipe.
That's apparently when Isger began screaming at the wife and assaulted her. You can't tape me. You can't video me. The bagpiper, a guy named Scott Gibb, said she said I had no right to play here in this public park. Isger then said her husband, U.S. District Bankruptcy Judge Marvin Isger of the Southern District of Texas.
Would what? Go after him? My judge's husband's going to get you?
She said, I'm going to call my husband. He's a federal judge, and he's going to make you stop. The bankruptcy judge is going to come down here.
Eunice, you got to calm down.
Gibbs said the suspect had her judge husband come to the scene, but he is not accused of any wrongdoing. Said the assault occurred when Eunice Isger hit the victim's arm while swiping at her phone. So it's not a real assault here. Let's be honest here. She was trying to hit the phone out of the lady's hand and then hit her arm. However, the suspect apparently ended up with a black eye when she fell trying to grab Gibbs' wife's backpack. So Eunice, for all her attempts, did more damage to her own stupid bitch face than she did to these people.
Her
that
husband actually came down to the scene, huh?
That's a ride or die right there.
That it sure is.
I got to give the guy credit. Like, I mean, he's like, all right.
Gets a phone call from his wife.
I'm sure she didn't tell him, though. He just probably, my wife's in danger and I got to go down there.
And then he got down there and he's like, you know what? I can't do anything about this guy playing in a park.
Musician who was originally from Scotland told the TV station down there that Eunice had confronted him before, but this is the first time it turned violent. Look, you're in a big city of Houston. Isn't there another park you can go play bagpipes in if this lady's going to be a constant problem? Like, she's obviously not going to stop, right? You got to know that. You got to know that these crazy old white bitches are not going to stop.
Yeah, but he has every right to play.
I'm not saying he doesn't. That is a whole different thing. I'm just saying that you know this is going to only escalate.
Well, maybe it's the one by his house. Maybe it's easy for him to walk to with his bagpipes.
I just, the whole process of, like, going
How big is this park? Can't Eunice find another corner?
Apparently not. This is Eunice's corner. Maybe they got a bench with her name on it down there. Man, these old white broads, they can't handle it.
They cannot.
Cannot do it. Here's a guy in Texas, staying in the big state of Texas. He got a DUI, and then he bonded out of jail, asked the cops to grab his belongings from his impounded car.
And there was drugs in there.
And then they found some cocaine in his vehicle and rearrested his ass.
Come on. You can see that one coming from Minnesota. Get out of here. You get busted and you ask the cops to empty your car and you know damn well there's drugs in there.
Memorial Day
God.
weekend.
How dumb are people?
Lyon County Sheriff and a deputy called about an alleged intoxicated suspect at a business. 42-year-old Richard Pruneda made alarming statements to an employee after driving himself to the business. He was then arrested and charged with DUI, vehicle impounded, booked into the detention center there. Then on Monday, Memorial Day, bonded out of jail, called the sheriff's office from his motel, asked them for personal items from his impounded vehicle. Look, man, you got my shoes.
I need stuff.
My wallet's in there, my keys. The sheriff went to the inventory and to collect the items out of the vehicle, reportedly found cocaine, among other items in the trunk of this guy's car.
Cocaine's a hell of a drug.
They then went to the motel and arrested Pruneda again. He was charged with possession of cocaine and taken back to the detention center. I wasn't there. It was in my car. Somebody else could have put it in there. You never know. Couple more. Bad news with happy music.
Yeah.
A dancing thief showed off some moves on surveillance camera before stealing $5,000 worth of laptops from a school in Australia. Caught on video. The man scaled the school property for several minutes before breaking into the building and stealing 3 laptops and a projector. Apparently, though, was very excited to commit the crime. Did a little dancing. Made a little love.
I get that.
Got
He's
down
just
tonight.
Feeling it.
Maybe he had his headphones in. You know, he was a good jam came
Little
on.
earbuds. And
his
he was
earbuds
just,
on. Maybe that was the deal. It's a couple of spins, couple of kick moves.
He's just feeling good.
A lot of spins, actually. Yeah, it looks like he has headphones on.
Okay.
Picking up the leg. You can see him pull up in the car. Got a flashlight, flashing it around, looking at things. Fenced in area, gets out. Still got the flashlight. He's bebopping right as soon as he gets out of the car. He's just doing one of these. Yep. Oh, and then they're the... It's not like a TikTok dance, so it's just sort of like
He's just feeling it. He's just moving to the beat. Yeah. I like that. I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
Well, the $5,000 in theft of school property, that you don't have a problem with that?
Well, yeah, I have a problem with that part.
Well, I was going to say, where's Jean and what'd you do with her?
He's just feeling okay about it. He's just feeling good.
And last but not least, bad news, happy music on Rock Mornings with Brian and Jean.
Yeah.
Add this to, the list of people that shouldn't be on the internet because they're stupid and they have no value and they don't contribute anything to reality. There's a 21-year-old guy on Long Island, got arrested after a string of TikTok videos where he'd go around to different stores and dump big buckets of food on his head in order to gain followers.
Well, that's what he's doing.
The guy's real name is Kyle Vasquez. He goes by the TikTok handle Tommy Tough Knuckles.
So he'll go in and like dump salsa on his head? Is that
eggs, beans, anything that makes a big mess. And he yells and screams before he dumps it on his head, and then he leaves with a huge mess. Right, and everybody else got to deal with it. Video's apparently still up if you want to go on his TikTok. Tommy Tough Knuckles doesn't steal the food, brought it in with him. Celebrated hitting 25,000 followers by walking into a restaurant shirtless and dumping a bucket of black beans on his head.
I'm Tommy Tough Knuckles. I just hit 25K. Bean challenge. Get me to 50K. We'll do more.
Okay.
You got to be real proud of yourself as a parent when this is the outcome of your years of work. This is all the things you poured into that cup.
Trying to be TikTok famous so you can get a paycheck.
Place had to clean up all the beans. He also dumped eggs on himself outside of an Italian ice place, milk on himself outside of a Walgreens. Did the ice bucket challenge inside of a grocery store. Each time he would run off and leave the mess for someone else to deal with. But that's not really why he got arrested. Cops apparently found his social media page, saw another series of videos where he'd go to people's houses, ask to use the bathroom, and then leave a big mess behind in their bathroom. Looks like those videos apparently have been removed. He's now facing 6 counts of recording people without their consent, 2 counts of criminal tampering, 4 years in jail possibly. Also, he can get some TikTok followers. Not going to be recording a lot of TikToks
followers.
in jail.
He's looking for a paycheck. Yeah, but it's
not going to get a lot of TikTok views when you're in jail. No, it's stupid. It's just dumb. Yeah, which is how most of the people on the internet are. Stupid. So there's that.
There's this lady that I watch on TikTok who is just kind of going viral for she's the I Don't Care Club. It's basically for women, older women that are going through that, I don't care anymore about stuff. And so she makes different lists about things she doesn't care about anymore. And, there's a lot of engagement with that. People are saying the things they also don't care about. And she's clever and she's funny or whatever. But that doesn't hurt anybody. And she's probably getting a nice paycheck because of her being clever and starting something. And people are enjoying it. They're following. They're participating. It's not, dumping food on your head.
Yeah. Good luck filming those TikToks in jail.
Tommy Two-Tone. What was it?
Tommy Tough Knuckles.
Oh, sorry.
At some point, Tommy Tough Knuckles is going to FAFO, and some guy that isn't having it is going to tough knuckle his face.
I agree with that.
And then he's going to learn the hard way that maybe I shouldn't be dumping beans on myself in somebody's restaurant. Or
somebody's going to come running out of the kitchen and tackle his ass, and that's going to be it.
Or worse. I mean, dude, you walk into a restaurant or someplace, people having a nice meal, and all of a sudden you just start yelling and screaming. And people don't know what the hell's going on?
Uh-huh.
Chitty, chitty, bang, bang.
I agree.
Bad news with happy music. Get to our daily check-ins next.
Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. Find them online at rockmornings.com. Call.
Hello.
Email.
I tried emailing you.
Text. So many ways to check in with us. Check. We rely on you guys for traffic updates, requests, and all sorts of other stuff.
Check this out.
Lots of interaction today. Lots of it. Somebody texted in and said, Gene, we need to know the dog treat bubbles, please.
Oh, geez. I don't even know what the brand name is or anything, but it's fun because
I'm guessing if you Google bacon-flavored dog...
Bubble Lick.
Bubble Lick?
They come in peanut butter or bacon flavored, and they're pet and kid-friendly.
Is it spelled the way it sounds, or is there some sort of weird spelling?
Bubble Lick.
Is it all one word, or is there a space?
It's 2 words. Pet-friendly treats for dogs with no mess or sticky residue. Great for indoors or outdoors. I've never done it indoors, but we do it outside, and it's kind of fun. And they can eat them. They can lick them. Bubble Lick.
I've never done it outdoors.
I haven't. I've done it outdoors, but never indoors. It's non-toxic. It's made for that. It's made for, dogs to try to grab the and they can eat them.
Doc texting in when we were talking to Office Cora, tell Cora that Doc and Lori say hi. Can't wait to see her again at Rockfest. Also, when we were reading off things that happened on June 5th earlier.
Mm-hmm.
We got a text from Doug, said, in 1987, I joined the military, brother. Can't believe I'm still in. This guy's out there kicking ass and taking names for our country.
Oh, yeah, being a hero.
He also said, I want Stuart Smalley giving me positive affirmations.
How about I had an idea.
Okay.
Small thing in your pocket.
Yes, that stays small.
That stays small. What if it was, I don't know, like Metallica? And they could just play for you
like a the NPR desktop concert anytime I want.
Exactly. It's like a pocket show for you anytime you want right there. Like, all right, okay, come on, guys, let's play.
I get to hold them hostage.
That's one of the things I was thinking of, because then it's like you gotta have a little concert, it's a little entertainment, something engaging.
Somebody else texted in, said Office Cora keeps people in her basement. It's the ones that seem so sweet that have people in their basement.
She does not.
Hashtag the people under the stairs.
Yeah.
No, she just has a very interesting living situation.
Baskets full of lotion.
I will say good for her getting the locks. It took a few months, but
I couldn't believe she was renting rooms to people and she didn't have a lock on her own bedroom door. Complete strangers, and she didn't lock her door at night. That's crazyville.
Alex said if you had a yacht in your pocket and went to regular size, you wouldn't need a truck to tow it or a trailer or a dock.
You just put it down in the water and
I just kind of.
It's not like those inflatable sponges where they start out in the capsule and then they become a dinosaur. It's not like that.
Jacob said Ron Livingston was in the HBO series Band of Brothers. I don't have time to list all of his acting credits. I just went with the big ones. I didn't go with Band of Brothers. I apologize. Brandon agreeing with me, 9 foot for sure and full of hair. He says I look like a moron without hair. I've been shaving my head for years, so the hair up top is not, it's the chin. It's the chinny chin that I have an issue with.
Everybody agreed to go 9 feet, huh?
Yeah. Well, I didn't hear anybody say 3 feet. Lucas says the question really is, would you rather be Chewbacca or Gollum from Lord of the Rings? Tall and hairy or short and bald?
There you go.
Brenda said 9 feet tall. How do you know how nice it would be to see concerts?
Yeah, a lot of people said that, but
Being
I still
short
think it would
sucks.
Yeah, I think they both stink. That's why it's a question.
Tony said standard ceiling height is 8 feet tall in a home. I'm still going 9 foot and not visiting people that live in a standard house. Yeah, I hear you. Also got a message from Carrie.
Was this about your shot, your drug shot?
She said, his wiener is all over the internet. You don't know how bad I needed that laugh. Thanks. And I said, are you referring to Pete Wentz? And she said, yes. I busted out laughing. She said, I guess I know what I'm doing tonight. Googling Pete Wentz's wiener.
From Fall Out Boy?
It was like years ago.
It's out there?
I just remember it
Jerry, and he's loving it?
I just remember it because it was all over the internets. Yeah. Vicky texting me saying, $21K for your med pen. I thought my insulin was outrageous. Lucky for you, your welcome kit was free. Yeah. 21.
I'm shocked.
I tell you what, if it doesn't work then you people have a problem on your hands. You need to come up with something else because,
there's no guarantee it's going to work.
I felt pretty spiffy saying I'm injecting $21,000 worth of drugs into my body. We'll see if it works.
Fingers crossed.
Well, the first one's not going to do anything. It's
the second. So now it's $42,000 in?
Wait, I don't know how much. Maybe they give you a discount on the second one.
Buy one, get one free?
I don't know if it goes like that. Not giving away drugs for free. Thank you for all the correspondence. Have a great rest of your Thursday. We'll talk to you tomorrow.